Joy, where are you? What's wrong? I'm in the family parlor. There's something I really need to tell you. It's my husband's funeral today. Can we talk later? No. I have to clear this up today. Huh? About Victor's inheritance. Huh? Wait a minute. We don't need to be discussing his inheritance during the funeral. You're just using that as an excuse. If you think you're gonna keep his inheritance all to yourself, you've got another thing coming. Huh? When my brother and I were still students, our parents passed away. We've been taking care of each other since. Unfortunately, my brother had an accident and died young. He worked for a big company before he died. He should have left me a lot of money so that I, his sister, could live in peace and comfort. He was a good boy who loved his sister. Did you really think that you would get the inheritance? Of course I did. I'm Victor's sister. The heir to the estate is supposed to be the spouse. Huh? Don't be mistaken. I know what I'm talking about. You were on the verge of divorcing Victor. Yes, we were on the verge of divorce, but... Then you're as good as a stranger. Victor has no children and his parents are dead. All the inheritance is mine. But, do you know why we were going to get a divorce? Huh? It was because of you, wasn't it? It was because you weren't a very good wife. And he got fed up with it, right? I was always against my brother's marriage. I didn't want him to marry someone so arrogant like you. I wanted him to marry a good wife that would take care of him and love him. And yet, poor Victor, to go to the other side married to such a useless person, it really is just too bad. I know you didn't think much of me as a sister-in-law. I've been aware of it for a long time. But there was another reason why we were discussing divorce. No, there wasn't. Of course it's all your fault. You made my sweet little brother unhappy. There's no way I'm letting you have my brother's assets. Oh, is that so? All right, then get out of the house today. Huh? Why? It's a matter of course, isn't it? The house you lived in with Victor was the house he built. My brother's house is as good as my house as his sister. I'm going to live there from now on. Pack up your stuff and leave. What? You're going to live there? That's right. What's wrong with living in your own house? What about your husband? Is your husband going to move in with you? My husband is away on business and won't be back for quite a while. That's why he couldn't attend the funeral today. Oh, really? Anyway, the apartment I'm living in is small and old. It's far from the city and very inconvenient. But your place is still new and clean, right? Huh? Actually, I've always wanted to live in that house. I'm so lucky to get it as an inheritance for free. You sound pretty happy, considering your brother just died. That's rude. How can I be happy? He was my only living relative. But there's no point in dwelling on it forever. I'm his sister and I'm going to live in the house he built for me. I'm sure he'll be happy in heaven. Well, you can't live in my house. What? What are you talking about? You were on the verge of divorce. You didn't plan to continue living in that house, even after Victor passed away, did you? Even if Victor were still alive, you were planning to move out sooner or later, right? Well, sure, that's true. Then there's nothing wrong with me living there, is there? Joy, you should pack up your stuff and leave as soon as the funeral is over. Oh, but please leave behind anything of value. You're not getting anything bought with Victor's money. Huh? Well, the end of this month is the last day anyway. I don't mind leaving. Huh? Last day? I'll talk to the real estate agent, but you'll have to vacate the house by the end of this month too. I'm sure it'll give you enough time to soak in a few memories of Victor. Well then, I'm busy, so I'll leave you now. Huh? What do you mean by the end of this month? Well, that's okay. Either way, I'm getting Victor's house. I'll have to get ready to move in as soon as the funeral's over. Joy! Thank you for moving out of the house so quickly. I love the spaciousness of a house. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You just come bursting into my house late at night, forcibly kicking me out? What's wrong with you? What? It's your fault for breaking your promise. I told you to leave right after the funeral. That's something you just can't do right away. The funeral just ended. There's still many things to do. If you make too much noise, you'll disturb the neighbors. I'll stay at the business hotel tonight. Why don't you just move in somewhere else? This will be my home. As I said before, I can't live in that house for a long time. Yes, you're just saying whatever. You're trying to get rid of me, but it's not going to happen. No, what I'm saying is... Okay, listen to me. You have nothing to do with me or Victor anymore. You're an eyesore just by being near me. I want you to quickly pack up your things and get out of my sight. I understand. I'll be staying at my parents' house for now. Joy! What in the world is going on? Answer the phone. Sorry, I was on the bus. Hey, I'm in trouble. What is it? A real estate agent just came to the house, and he wants me to vacate as soon as possible. He said if I don't leave, he'll sue me for squatting. Oh, by the way, today is the end of the month. Don't tell me you're still staying at that house. Well, I told you, didn't I? The end of this month is the day I have to move out. I told you to vacate the house by the end of this month. But I never knew that this house was in your name, and I can't believe it had already been sold. Oh, I knew Victor didn't tell you that much. Maybe he was going to tell you after everything was done. Hey, what in the world is going on? I haven't been told anything. This house didn't belong to Victor? After Victor passed away, I thought I could get rid of you and live here. Too bad. You're the one who's leaving. Huh? You heard that Victor and I were just about to get divorced. What's that about? I don't think it has anything to do with the name. Actually, it does. The reason I wanted a divorce is because Victor cheated on me. Huh? Victor cheated on you? You're lying. Victor wasn't the kind of guy that would cheat on his wife. I'm sorry, but it's true. So I was going to ask for compensation for the affair. But he said he couldn't pay because he didn't have any money. Oh no! Victor worked for a big company and must have had a good amount of savings. Yes, he used to have a good amount of savings. But because he spent so much on his lover, his savings was almost gone. Gone? That's right. His girlfriend kept asking him to buy her brand name bags and accessories. He even lied to me about going on a business trip and went on an overseas trip with her. Up to about a year ago, we had around $300,000 in savings, but now it's less than $1,000. 300,000 went to 1,000? By the way, it wasn't just his money. It was also money that he went ahead and took out of our joint account. In other words, he took money that he shouldn't have without my permission. To be honest, I would want the money back. but I can't get back what isn't there. Besides, I had an overwhelming desire not to be involved with him in any way after the divorce. As a result of our discussion, Victor gave me the house and car as compensation for the money he used. He also agreed to give me all of the furniture and electrical appliances. At that time, I changed the name of the house and sold the whole house to a real estate agent. What a thing to do! The house hasn't been built that long ago. It was great. I was able to sell it for more than I expected. That's terrible! This house is practically a memento of my younger brother. How could you sell it off without a second thought? Don't you have any humanity? Of course, I didn't want to let it go either. But Victor didn't have any money to pay the compensation, so there wasn't much we could do. In the first place, it would have been better if he had not cheated on me. Then he wouldn't have gone broke, blowing all his money on his lover. And he wouldn't have had to give up his house, car, furniture, and appliances as compensation. Okay, fine. I get it. So the woman with whom Victor was having an affair with is the reason for all this. I can't believe she made my precious little brother give her so much money. Who in the world is she? I'm not going to be satisfied until I give her a little piece of my mind. How dare you? What? It was last year, wasn't it? Even though Victor was married, you said you knew a really cute girl. And you introduced someone from your college, right? That's how they started the relationship. Oh my God, no! In other words, you're the one that made Victor cheat on me. I didn't mean to. I just wanted you to be a better wife to my brother. I just thought, if I brought around a young pretty girl, you'd feel a little pressure and realize that you need to be a better wife. No, you were just trying to give me a hard time, weren't you? No, really, I wasn't. And I didn't expect Victor to be serious about her. Well, getting serious about another woman when you already have a wife is a problem. But in the end, it's you who sent him on that path. I don't think you have the right to complain to anyone. Ugh! On top of that, you seem to have some misunderstanding about inheritance. Victor did not leave any kind of will, so in this case, the legal heirs will inherit his estate. I know that. That's why I'm saying that I, his sister, have a right to it. I'm sorry to say this, but in this case, the only legal heir is me, his wife. Huh? Why? I'm his biological sister. If Victor didn't have a spouse, you would have been entitled to inherit. We weren't divorced yet, and we were still a married couple. Oh, come on now. You're telling me that a complete stranger can get the inheritance? But I, a blood relative, gets nothing? That's so unfair. I can't accept that. It doesn't matter anyway. Victor didn't have anything that could be called inheritance in the first place. Huh? I told you earlier, didn't I? His mistress used up all his money. There's nothing left. Oh. I checked to see if he had any cash or other financial assets. It's all gone. Oh no. If you doubt that, I can show you the bank books and everything else that will prove it. If you want, I can put you in front of a lawyer and we can go over it. No thanks, I get it. Is that so? So then please leave by the end of the day. Oh no, but I thought I could finally live in the house I've always dreamed of. Joy? Please pick up the phone. What's going on at this time of night? Hey, where do you live now? Excuse me? When I went to your parents' house, they told me that you moved to another place. I asked where you moved to, but your parents wouldn't tell me. Why are you keeping your whereabouts a secret? Why don't you tell me where you are? Why do you want to know where I am? Just tell me. I don't want to. Why not? Because you and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. What are you talking about? We're sisters-in-law. You were obligated to support me. There is no such law. And you said, we are complete strangers now. Ugh. Either way, we're not family. I've already filed a notification of termination of marriage with the authorities. What? What's that? It means that I have legally disassociated myself from the blood relatives of the deceased spouse. Disassociated? Yes, that's right. Therefore, you and I are completely unrelated. That can't be. That is why I have no obligation to give my current address to a person who has become a stranger, and I have no obligation to support you. Then what am I supposed to do now? My brother is gone, and I am all alone. Who is going to support me? Why are you trying to make me take care of you in the first place? You have a husband. Well, we separated. What? When I returned to my apartment after being kicked out of Victor's house, I was suddenly confronted with a divorce. So, when you said your husband was away on business, that was a lie. We've been having marital problems. My husband and I have been separated for a long time. Oh, really? But I thought he'd come back in time. And with the big house that Victor left us, I thought we'd be able to live happily together. And yet, after the funeral, he heard rumors of my brother's affair from relatives. Oh, I see. So they found out that you introduced the girl to your brother. My husband was furious and moved out of the apartment. Well, yeah, you did it to give me a hard time. It wasn't to give you a hard time. I only introduced her to him in a casual way. I never thought it would end like this. It's true that it ended in a very unexpected way. But it's insane to introduce another woman to your brother, who is married, isn't it? You encouraged your brother's infidelity. I think you deserved it. Hey, help me out. Come again? I have nowhere to go. My husband has given up on me. I don't have a home anymore. I don't have parents or siblings. And I don't have a job, so I have no income. If I keep going like this, I won't be able to pay the rent. Then why don't you just work? I've interviewed at several companies, but none of them would hire me because of my lack of work experience. The only person I can rely on is you. I told you earlier that you and I are legally disassociated, didn't I? I don't care about the law. Look, Joy, when one of us has a problem, we'd both do right. We were family up till just a little while ago. You'll help me, won't you? Even Victor in heaven must want us to get along with each other. Did you forget that I was hurt by Victor's betrayal and was working on a divorce? Huh? And you have continually harassed me over and over again. I want to have nothing to do with you from here on out. You're so ungrateful. After everything I've done for you, I don't remember you ever doing anything for me. Just help me. I can't. Why? Because it's psychologically impossible. What? I don't want to see your face or hear your voice ever again. With that said, I'm going to block you. Goodbye. After that, my sister-in-law started frantically searching all over for me. She stormed into my relatives' houses, friends' houses, and anywhere else she could think of. She seemed to have begged them to tell her where I was. However, my sister-in-law's misdeeds were well known among my relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Naturally, no one would give her the time of day. When her savings finally ran out and she was in need of money, she stormed into the house of Victor's lover. I had already received a solid compensation payment from her. I had no intention of getting back at her in any way. But my sister-in-law must not have been satisfied. She went on a rampage, screaming that she didn't get her brother's inheritance because of her. The police were called to the scene. It's hard not to wonder who was in the wrong in the first place. In the end, my sister-in-law was sued for damages. She was forced to work to pay for it all. She's now working part-time to earn money. As for me, I bought a condominium with the money from the sale of my house. I am enjoying the freedom of living alone. I have been through a series of shocking events, but I am feeling much calmer now. So I am planning to go on a trip with my parents.